Every year as winter begins, the national capital of Delhi wakes up to scenes like these. So severe is the pollution that some residents have no choice but to leave the city and go to nearby hill stations to escape from the pollution and the misery it brings in its wake.
My two children, aged 7 and 10 now, over the last 3 years, I've been seeing that 1 week before Diwali and a couple of weeks after Diwali, they've started to develop signs of breathing problems. And that has convinced me that this is not the environment which is conducive, which is beneficial for younger people.
Those who have to stay behind suffer the most.
थोड़ा आँखों में प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, जलन सी हो रही है।
सांसों की दिक्कत आएगी, आँखों में दिक्कत आएगी, ये अच्छा नहीं है।
जो बीमार हैं उनके लिए तो बहुत खराब है, जो नहीं है वो और बीमार हो जाएंगे।
सांस लेने में प्रॉब्लम हो रही है। जैसे पहले तो ऐसे था कि हल्का सा ऐसे मास्क कर लेते ठीक रहता, नॉर्मल लगता, लेकिन अभी जैसे बिल्कुल भी सांस नहीं ले पा रहे।
According to the World Air Quality Report 2020, Delhi tops the list of world's most polluted capital cities. In fact, the report says that 22 of the world's 30 most polluted cities are in India. What you see on your screens is a worrying trend that shows how the air quality has worsened in November. Think of the air quality index as a yardstick that runs from 0 to 500. The higher the AQI value, the greater the level of air pollution and the greater the health concern. For example, an AQI value of 50 or below represents good air quality. Now, anything more than this translates to a severe health hazard. Scientists say that merely breathing Delhi's air during this time is like smoking 50 cigarettes in a day. While pollution is a perennial problem in the city, here's what's fueling Delhi's smog crisis and its deteriorating pattern every year during winters. Air pollution in Delhi this time of the year is dependent on a variety of factors. With the cautious respite that this Diwali provided in the midst of the pandemic, the Festival of Lights was much looked forward to across the country. However, Delhi literally held its breath in dread as bans on firecrackers imposed by the Delhi, UP and Haryana governments were violated with impunity by revelers. The result was there for all to see the next day. The 24-hour average air quality index was at 462. The highest in 5 years. Firecrackers during the festive season have always been one of the many reasons for the hazardous levels of AQI post-Diwali. While firecrackers contribute significantly in making air quality worse, this is also the time when farmers in New Delhi's neighbouring states of Punjab and Haryana burn the stubble left after harvesting to prepare their fields for the next crop. With the rice harvest over in October, farmers in the state of Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh burned crop stubble, specifically the remains of the rice crop, to prepare the fields to plant rabi or winter crop, which includes wheat, in the month of November. The root cause of this issue arises from the fact that rice crops require huge amounts of water to grow, and excessive rice farming in these states has led to a decrease in groundwater. Hence, the Punjab and the Haryana government passed a new rule in 2009 which prohibited planting rice before mid-June, which means that farmers can't plant rice until right before the monsoon season. Traditionally, rice used to be planted in the month of April. This also means that harvesting of rice can only start in the later part of the year. Hence, farmers get less time to clear their fields for the next crop. Since rice straws have high silica content and are not used to feed livestock, the easiest solution for the farmers is to set it on fire. Stubble fires account for up to 35% of New Delhi's pollution levels, according to the Ministry of Earth Sciences. The wind carries all the pollutants and dust particles towards the national capital. While the toxic soup over North India is composed of several types of pollutants, the most harmful ones are PM 2.5 and nitrogen dioxide. The health impact of these pollutants can range from asthma to cancer, strokes and Alzheimer's disease. PM 2.5 are particles that are 100 times thinner than a human hair and remain suspended in the air for longer. So the question is, why does PM 2.5 not disperse in winters while things remain significantly better in summers? And why does the smoke from the stubble burning affect Delhi the most? The weather conditions and geographical factors kick in too. First is geography. The Himalayan mountains act like a barrier that pushes the smoke towards Delhi, and the second is the weather. During the winters, the cold mountain air rushes down towards Delhi that arrives beneath a layer of warm lowland air. The cooler air is trapped under the warm air above that forms a kind of atmospheric lid. This phenomenon is called winter inversion. Hence, the warm air keeps the pollutants trapped on the ground, choking our cities. Large-scale construction in Delhi NCR, overpopulation, industrial pollution and vehicular emission are additional reasons that make things even worse. Now that we have established how dangerous stubble burning and other factors are for Delhi's air, the next logical question is, what is the government doing to resolve the problem? In 2015, the National Green Tribunal had banned stubble burning in the states of Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana and Punjab. Burning stubble is a crime under Section 188 of the IPC and under the Air and Pollution Control Act of 1981. However, the ground reality suggests otherwise. Over the years, governments have tried to stop stubble burning. They've pitched alternatives, they've banned it, and have fined farmers for continuing to do it. Disposal by means other than burning costs time and money, two things that farmers say they can't afford. In 2019, India's Supreme Court asked the states of Punjab and Haryana to stop crop burning, but that is yet to take effect. This year, in order to curb the air pollution, the Delhi government has announced a 10-point winter action plan to combat air pollution. While the steps to combat air pollution are in place, yet a thick smog has turned daylight into dusk in and around Delhi.